Hey there. I've been quietly lurking here for a while, trying to come to grips with the infidelity that's wrecked my life. To give you the short version, my wife and I have been married for 8 years, together for a few more before that, and we have 2 young kids. This year has been rough, and although we've had our share of arguments, I never thought it would drive my wife to cheat. Lately, I noticed she was becoming distant and uncommunicative, so one evening, I decided to confront her. She admitted that she was unhappy and felt like the spark was gone. Initially, I blamed myself, thinking I had been neglectful as a husband, which, to be fair, was partially true. The following day, I found a peculiar message on her phone. It was extremely affectionate and lovey-dovey. Digging deeper, I discovered she had been messaging a man for a long time, exchanging I love yous and making plans for a future together. I was utterly shattered. Following the advice I found on many threads here, I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I read up on the situation, consulted a few lawyers for advice, retained one, and took time to clear my head and stay calm. A few days ago, I confronted my wife calmly and asked if she was having an affair. After a few minutes, she confessed everything. It had been going on for 6 months, and she claimed it was the deepest emotional connection she'd ever had. Complete nonsense, but whatever. I laid out my boundaries, cut off contact, attend marriage counseling, etc. The final straw for me was her extreme aggravation when I told her to cut off contact in front of me and her insistence on seeing him one last time for closure. I stood firm and told her if he was that important, she should pack a bag and go live with him. She backed off, but not before calling me a controlling a-hole. She showed me a text this morning, but my gut tells me she'll find another way to communicate with him. I'm thinking there's no hope left, and honestly, I don't want to try anymore. I just want to be able to tell my kids in the future that I at least made an effort. We have marriage counseling tomorrow, but I'm seriously considering filing for divorce before wasting more time and heartache. I'm cautious about moving too quickly because of the kids, but is this the right move? The OP continued in the comments. Wow, this thread blew up fast. Thanks for all the supportive comments. They've been a great validation. I've got the paperwork filled out with my lawyer. They just need to process it, and then I'll have to decide on a date to serve her. You're all right. It won't end well if I become a doormat. I need to think about my future and my kids and move on. One response that stood out was, "It's honestly great to see someone not being a doormat in this situation. Good on you for playing it smart. It will suck, but keep that rage burning. Don't let it cool down because you're keeping your head in the game. You'll thank yourself later for this, and your kids will too, once they understand. Consider keeping the evidence locked away in case she ever tries to tell a different story to the kids so they can see it with their own eyes. Probably too extreme, but you might be doing your kids a disservice by staying with a woman like that. Kids aren't dumb, they catch on to things. If they see you allowing yourself to be mistreated, they might think it's okay to let themselves be mistreated by toxic partners in the future. If your wife insists on seeing her affair partner one last time, you know it's never going to be the last time." Update. The past few weeks have been incredibly tough, but they've given me a lot of time for soul-searching and reflection. As an update from the previous thread, my wife and I attended some counseling sessions after the initial confrontation. The counselor has been great at listening to both sides without assigning blame and helping us navigate our new reality. She also identified some structural issues in our relationship, which, while not excusing my wife's behavior, are helpful to understand for future relationships and avoiding past mistakes. As mentioned in the thread, my wife initially disregarded my boundary to cut off contact with her affair partner. I caught small messages between them before she completely went dark with her chat logs and phone. After seeing that, I decided to file, and she was served a few days ago. In parallel, I had a heart-to-heart with my father-in-law, as we are close, and I needed to prioritize support for our kids over our relationship. My wife was initially very upset. Her fantasy was shattered. However, our therapist helped her understand my perspective and why this needed to happen. I think she's starting to realize the real consequences of her actions and what's going to be lost. From here on, I'm just trying to process the new life ahead and the huge shift in my identity from a husband-father to something else. Since I filed for divorce, my wife was immediately taken aback and has been incredibly emotional over the past few days. I genuinely believe she never thought I would have the strength to walk away. I've kept my distance, but I've noticed a definite change in her behavior. On a positive note, we've managed to have more civil conversations, mostly focusing on our shared priority, our children. I've been clear with her that she inflicted a deep wound on me and that she needs to do the heavy lifting to help repair it, giving me the space and time I need to even consider forgiveness. Her actions were the most selfish, self-centered, and horrible things you could do to someone. Despite that, I haven't lost sight of the fact that we still need to raise our children together, and that's my main focus as I navigate towards my personal happiness. I wanted to thank everyone for their previous comments and insights. I'm genuinely proud that I found the strength not to wallow in self-pity, anger, or sadness, but to make the right moves to retain my dignity and look forward to a brighter future. I don't know all the next steps, and my feelings are constantly in flux, but I'm beginning to feel some inner peace. Thank you all again. Small update. I'm now in the post-serving phase, working closely with my counsel. I'm curious if any betrayed spouses here have taken advantage of the affair fog to get better divorce terms and how you managed to do it. My soon-to-be ex-wife is still deeply entangled with her affair partner, which, for now, I haven't bothered her about since it's a useful distraction. I'm interested in hearing about any unexpected agreements people managed to secure. Any advice on how to navigate this phase and keep her off balance would be greatly appreciated. Besides implementing Gray Rock and the 180 strategy, I've been going out more unexpectedly and not divulging details of my activities. Update. Advice on Gray Rocking during divorce proceedings. Hi everyone. I've posted a few threads about my ongoing saga. The short version is my wife cheated. I caught her. She gave me the "I love you but I'm not in love" speech, claiming her affair partner was the greatest emotional connection ever. She gaslit and circled the truth following the typical script. I then served her divorce papers, and here we are, a few weeks later. Now in the post-serving phase, we still have to cohabitate for the sake of spending as much time with our children as possible. I'm now in a separate room, which has helped create some distance. I've implemented the Gray Rock strategy with my soon-to-be ex-wife, generally showing no interest in discussions, though I have to fake it a bit, especially around the kids. They're still young but can sense a lot, so I try to stay upbeat around them. I'm also making myself less available in the evenings by going out with friends, working out, etc. Any additional advice on handling this delicate balance would be welcome. I want to bond with my kids as much as possible, so I've been enduring family dinners and whatnot. Any other do's and don'ts? Response to a comment: honestly, it seems like you're making all the right moves, OP. The best thing you can do right now is focus on your children. As you said earlier, how you treat their mother during this time will speak volumes about your character. It will serve as a huge lesson on how to treat others who have wronged you. You're a great father, OP. Update. I've made a few posts before, and for those unfamiliar with my story, my wife cheated, claimed it was the greatest emotional connection ever, hit me with the "I love you but I'm not in love" line, and I served her divorce papers. I'm just over a month and a half post D-Day and working hard to move on. The purpose of this post is not for an update, but to seek advice from anyone who has gone through this process. Please share any lessons learned, things you would have done differently, or good things to know. The advice in previous posts has been incredibly helpful, and those who reached out in other ways have been amazing. I'm just reaching out in case there's more wisdom out there to help me through this. Update. Dealing with being painted as the a-hole. Hey everyone. My story is in my post history, but to summarize, wife cheated, found her greatest emotional connection, I served her divorce papers, and now we're on the road to divorce. I wanted to hear from others who've dealt with in-laws, friends, etc., making them out to be the bad guy. I got ahead by informing some in-laws, my family, and a few friends after filing, but I didn't broadcast it widely to keep some things private. However, my soon-to-be ex-wife likely spread her side of the story, and now I'm getting cold vibes from her family and some mutual acquaintances. I know blood is thicker than water, but it's disheartening when close family members turn their backs, despite knowing I'm a good dad and that my wife is the one who was immoral. Did people eventually see the truth and change their opinion, or did you just stop caring and move on? I think it's inevitable for people to take sides in situations like this, but those who choose to believe her were never really loyal to you anyway, were they? You don't need people like that in your life. Focus on your kids and your side of the story. At the end of the day, you know what happened. You know the truth. That's all that matters. Update. Hi everyone. Today I finally see some closure in the saga that started over the summer. I've been posting here, seeking advice from all of you. First off, I want to thank this community for the incredible support and advice, especially to those who privately messaged me with words of wisdom. This process has been incredibly tough, especially with close family far away. It's rough to be alone with your thoughts, but there is wisdom and introspection to gain during this. For those needing a recap, one of my many threads is below, but the TLDR is my wife cheated and tried to hide it. I found out, realized there was no hope as she was deep in the fog with her affair partner, and immediately filed for divorce. The past few months have been frosty but relatively drama-free as my soon-to-be ex and I separated our lives within the house while still doing things for our children. The discovery and mediation process proceeded quickly. We agreed on a 50-50 split for our kids along with schedules and holidays. Since it's a no-fault state, asset division was by the book with some give and take. I won't go into details too much now, maybe in a future post, but I'll soon be finding a place for a fresh start. The final conclusion is on the horizon, and for the most part, the divorce is complete. Here are some things I learned from this fiasco. Don't bother with the pick-me dance. I tried it for a week before wising up to her cheating. My soon-to-be ex is still in the fog, but that's her decision. She needs to live with it. Lawyer up with an experienced family law attorney who is reasonable. I can't praise the person who took care of me enough. Understanding the difference between what I wanted and what was realistic was crucial to reaching the end. I avoided crazy fees by doing a lot of the prep work myself, and we settled relatively quickly. Lean on friends and family for support as much as possible. Exercise is key to maintaining mental health. I hit the weights a month after D-Day, and I'm starting to reap the benefits. The confidence boost has been helpful. Get into individual counseling and talk to someone. This has helped me tremendously. Realize that the cheater's decisions are all on them. I heard it all from my soon-to-be ex. I was a roommate. She loved me but wasn't in love. Our marriage went wrong. I worked too much, etc. The truth is, our marriage went wrong after she let someone else feed her ego and give her extra attention. She built walls and made me the bad guy to justify it in her mind. Sure, she might have been stressed from kids and day-to-day life, but not communicating with me and confiding in a two-time divorcee with no moral compass is all on her. That's a recipe for disaster. The final chapter of Captain Sacknuts, Freeman A. Cheese, and 5-year plan Sid, the affair partner, is yet to be written, but poor choices carry consequences. That's all I'll say on the matter. Again, thank you to everyone. I still have a lot of work ahead, but also many new adventures in this chapter of my life. I hope I can return the favor to anyone who needs it. Please reach out if you need a helping hand. I am here. Update. Has your ex pushed to stay in your life after divorce? Got a question for the group. My post history details the greatest emotional connection love story ever. Haha. I'm not far from moving into my own place. Since I have a couple of kids with my soon-to-be ex, and for legal reasons, I've stayed in our marital house during this process. I've posted a few threads about the ongoing saga. Thankfully, the light at the end of the tunnel is near. Obviously, I have to co-parent with my cheating ex and will be friendly for that, but I've been firm in saying she killed our marriage and any sort of friendship. I have no room in my life for a lying cheater. However, she's been insistent about wanting to be there for me, promising to help decorate my new house, and keeping holiday traditions for the kids. I've stayed firm, telling her she torpedoed our relationship and wanted to replace me, so I'm simply granting her that wish. I even told her she wouldn't be welcome in my new house. Has anyone else experienced their ex wanting to hang around? I suspect it's some sort of optics thing. If we're friends, then the split can't be that bad, right? So far, her affair partner hasn't shown his face, and she tries to hide it, but I know it's only a matter of time before the greatest emotional connection gets to go public. I have no desire to be in the same room as them, but I'll be ready with popcorn when their relationship goes up in flames. Thanks, as always, to this incredible group. Some responses have come in, and the first one says she's doing it for herself. It would absolve her, at least in her mind, from some guilt. She'd think the betrayal and hurt couldn't be that big of a deal if I still let her into my inner circle. Don't let her. As of today, the official decree went out, and I am no longer married. I also picked up the keys to my new house and will start moving ASAP. I chose a buyout to start fresh in a new place and make new memories. I got lucky and found a well-maintained house just a minute away from my current home. It has a huge fenced-in backyard, a wood fire pit, a big garage, and a prime location backing up to a nature preserve, which is perfect since I'm an avid outdoorsman and biker. It's my gateway to a little paradise. Some may ask why I chose a place so close. Well, I want to be near my kids so they know their dad is always close by when they need me. Thanks to the advice of this community, I kept my focus on what's important, started a workout program, and dove headfirst into a new career opportunity that recently paid off big time. I haven't bothered with online dating or seeking out a new partner, and will likely enjoy the single life for a while. My 2 little kids are my focus, and I plan to concentrate on them and my personal growth for now. As for my ex and her affair partner, I've started to let go of that disaster. Whatever happens, happens. It's no longer my concern. Someone wisely said, when someone gets with somebody who cheated on their spouse, they're getting someone who cheated on their spouse. I did my best as a husband and father, and it's time for someone else to appreciate it. Thank you all for the messages, advice, well wishes, and support. My life has depended on this community so much these past months when I didn't have many close by to turn to. For those at the beginning of this tough journey, keep putting one foot in front of the other and survive each day. I'm not an expert in life, but I'm here to lend an ear to anyone who needs it. Good luck to you all. Update. I'll have a life update soon, as I have some pretty major, mostly good things happening after my official divorce. That said, in my new free time, I've unfortunately looked back and seen the life I had planned evaporate. I wonder how this could happen in such a short time. I'm sure everyone has had time to ponder the who, what, where, when, why. I look back, and my wayward spouse and I had a great life ahead of us. Our careers were thriving after some initial major efforts to establish ourselves. We had a paid-off home, 2 beautiful children who are now out of diapers, and college funds being funded. Thinking about this is my last hurdle to get over. I can't understand the mindset of someone who had so much going for her, but decided to nuke it all for an unreliable serial cheating turd. Need I mention OMB one more time to this group? I know I have a long road ahead to heal from all this, but reflecting on our history and the life we built together, I can't help but wonder how someone can be so selfish and foolish. I understand that desire isn't something you can negotiate, but the whole point of marriage is to work through challenges as a team and continually rediscover each other. Thank you again to this amazing community for the insights and support. I know I might sound like a broken record, but these forums have been a crucial outlet for me. Trying to make sense of it all can drive us crazy. Perhaps the main reason for her actions was insecurity. My ex-wife was an incredibly insecure person. Update. Hello everyone. I wanted to share a quick update, especially for those who recently experienced D-Day and are anxious about the future. It's been 6 weeks since the divorce was finalized, and I moved into my new place a month ago. I've been working non-stop to turn it into a sanctuary. It's now fully furnished and truly feels like home, my own space. My kids have been over several times, and the transition is going well. I've always heard that kids are resilient, but seeing it firsthand is reassuring. They're handling things pretty well, and we have a great time together at my place. They've told me multiple times how much they love being here. Adjusting to my newfound freedom was initially strange, but creating to-do lists and setting short-term and long-term goals has helped tremendously. I felt sadness at first, but keeping busy has kept those feelings at bay. My focus right now is solely on self-improvement. Although I've considered dating again, I have no interest at the moment. Instead, I'm dedicating my time to home improvement, fitness, and spending quality time with my kids. Someone commented on one of my posts that leaving the house felt like coming up for air after being underwater, and they were right. Regarding my ex, I keep interactions cordial but nothing more. There's no sign of the so-called greatest emotional connection affair partner yet. Honestly, who cares? Tonight, I sat outside with a few beers and a cigar, savoring the peace and tranquility of my new home. It confirmed that leaving the situation my ex created was the right choice. To anyone at the beginning of this tough journey, I understand your doubts. It's incredibly hard and heartbreaking, but choosing to remove a cheater from your life is the right decision. With time, things will improve. Cheers to everyone. Update. Hi all, another update from AC 496. Thanks again to the wonderful people here for your comments and support. It's been 2 months since I started this new chapter, and my house is coming together nicely. My kids are doing well. We're creating new memories, and I have some fun trips planned soon. Following the advice from this community, I've ramped up my weight training and dieting, upgraded my home gym equipment, and regularly hit the heavy bag. It's clearly paying off. During my monthly therapy sessions, my counselor noticed my physical progress and commented on the positive changes both mentally and physically. It's affirming to see things moving in the right direction. I haven't started dating, it's still early days, and I'm enjoying the freedom, new projects, and time with friends. So, to address the elephant in the room, has bad karma caught up with the people who wronged me? Well, I don't have a dramatic story about my ex and her affair partner yet. Strangely, the supposed greatest romance ever hasn't gone public, and OMB remains in the shadows. I'm curious why this is. Is my ex-wife trying to manage her image, waiting for a better time to reveal everything? Isn't the thrill of the affair gone now that they can't sneak around? I find it odd. I suspect they're still communicating since she hides her phone when I'm around during kids' activities. She wanted this affair, claimed it was amazing, so why not flaunt it now that the terrible ex-husband is out of the picture? Has anyone else experienced their ex and affair partner staying in the shadows? I'm approaching the 6-month mark since the divorce and nearing a year since D-Day. Sharing my journey has been therapeutic, and I know many of you have followed along, offering support and hope. To the newcomers facing this difficult journey, know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. I hope my story provides some comfort and encouragement. On a positive note, 6 months post-divorce, there's a lot of good news. My house is fully furnished and feels like home. My kids are adapting well to the routine, love spending time here, and have made new friends in the neighborhood. I am beyond thankful that the little ones have managed this process so well. They understand there is dad time and mom time, and there have been no complaints or tears. Outside of their visits, I've thrown myself into a ton of home improvements. The house I moved into was previously owned by an older divorced gentleman, and some things were left unattended. I see it as an opportunity to make the place my own. I've also set up a home gym with everything I need, and I can proudly say I'm getting my workouts and boxing in 4 times a week. My body is getting back to where I want it to be. Throughout this ordeal, I also underwent a major career change within my company. Despite everything, I've managed to excel, earning praise and even a raise. Keeping my situation private has helped me stay focused and advance my career. Yes, I still struggle daily with mental health and focus, but therapy and workouts help me manage it, and things are improving. I think less and less about my ex-wife each day, and each small step forward is a relief. As for her, she's still in her fantasy world, but we managed to co-parent fairly well. I've gray-rocked the heck out of her let's be friends attempts and kept our interactions strictly about the kids. It's been cordial enough. I'm sure anyone who has followed my story wonders about the saga of OMB. All I can say is that the so-called world's greatest love story hasn't gone public. However, my kids have mentioned that he's been around in a limited capacity. I have to laugh a little because 6 months past D-Day, they are still sneaking around. These are the great hallmarks of a long-lasting, trusting relationship, right? I've come to terms with whatever happens, and at this point, I'm lucky to be free from someone who could lie to her most trusted partner without remorse. I now have a solid chance at building an even better life. Good riddance and good luck to her. Anyway, that's all for now. A big thanks to everyone who follows, comments, messages, and sends rays of hope. I will keep updating and supporting as always. Update. Hi, y'all. Thought I'd share a conversation I had with a buddy last night over a few beers. It's amazing how Friday nights can sometimes solve the world's problems. For context, my buddy also got divorced 7 years ago under eerily similar circumstances to mine. Even our exes share the same birthday. As I've mentioned in previous posts, the grand reveal of OMB and my ex is slowly taking shape. I maintain low contact with my ex, but my kids make comments, and it's hard not to get frustrated. Whatever. My buddy noticed I was a bit annoyed and shared something that helped me a lot. Dude, think about their lives. 2 cheaters getting together. Think about how crappy and low value he is for manipulating a married woman with kids. Now, look at it this way. They have to make it work, no matter how bad it becomes. You and I can meet women, and if it doesn't work out, we move on. No problem, no worry. They are stuck. He has to live in your old house, knowing you built that, deal with your kids, and inherit your selfish ex and in-laws. But they are stuck, or else they look stupid. Can you imagine that kind of hell? But you're free. I stewed on that, and this morning, it really helped me realize what a horrid future they have to look forward to. I wanted to pass this thought along and ask if others have come to this conclusion or seen it in action. Thank you, awesome people, as always. Update: wow, that makes a lot of sense. Trying to play house in a home that the affair partner never built. A home he helped to destroy. It's almost poetic. Update: affair partner invited to my kid's birthday. Hi all, it's me again. A big thanks to this lovely group as always. I have something to get off my chest for those who remember my saga. I've been making good progress and have some big updates coming soon, as I like to share positive milestones to help others on their journey. But for now, I need some advice. Background: my daughter's birthday is coming up this weekend. I already celebrated last weekend with my family and had a small party. Nothing crazy, but my daughter loved her presents and cake. Now my ex-wife is having her usual look at how awesome I am party this weekend. I did get an invite, but I just found out the other day that good old OMB, the affair partner, is confirmed to be attending. I confronted my ex-wife, telling her this was a pretty low move, but she didn't respond. To make matters worse, the ex-wife's co-workers, family, and friends, who all knew about the affair, will be there, and the party is at my old house. It feels like enemy territory. This whole situation is horrid. It's my daughter's birthday party, the first one since our divorce, and I can't help but feel it's a setup. It's a lose-lose situation, and after talking with some supportive members here, it feels like walking into a pit of vipers. The only thing I can think of is going in dressed well, with a fresh haircut, and showing off my new physique. I've been putting in the work, and could stay for a little while, but either way, it feels wrong. This is super manipulative of my ex-wife. She knows exactly what she's doing, and wants me to act petty. Any advice would be appreciated. I wanted to thank you for the massive amount of support I received on my post from earlier this week. Since the beginning of this saga, this community has been my lifeboat, providing advice to get me through all of this. Thank you all. It truly means the world to me. As for the juicy update, well, here it is. I initially told my ex-wife that I'd be attending the party. What I didn't do was tell her I'd change my mind. I waited until Saturday morning to drop by the house and deliver my daughter's card and present. Unbeknownst to me, the kids were dropped off at their grandparents' house for the morning. As I drove up in my sports car, I noticed OMB's junky vehicle parked on the side of the road. I strolled into the backyard quietly with a smile and surprised both my ex-wife and OMB as they were putting up decorations. The look of utter terror on their faces was priceless. OMB couldn't look me in the eyes and awkwardly muttered, "Oh, hey, man." Honestly, when I looked at both of them, I didn't feel anger. Instead, I felt a sense of pity. How sad for both of them. Is that growth? I kept my composure and said, "I'm here to give my daughter her present, but I won't be joining." My ex-wife was shocked and, in the sweetest voice I've ever heard from her, nearly pleaded for me to stay. I said, "Thanks, but no thanks. I'll go to your parents' place to give my daughter her gift." And I left. Before leaving, I gave a casual, "Hey, see you later, bro," to OMB and walked out, head held high. Not more than 3 minutes later, I received a phone call from my ex-wife, again pleading for me to come to the party, but I held my ground and politely refused. This experience confirmed to me that moving on and setting boundaries was the right choice. Thanks again to everyone for your support and advice. A few minutes later, I dropped off the gift, spent some time at the ex-in-laws, played with my kids, and said my goodbyes, all very kindly, without mentioning the situation. Afterwards, I kept myself busy tending to my house. I got a good workout in, which was much needed after a break, and I even went out on a date. It didn't go anywhere, but she was nice, and it was a good distraction. Today, my daughter called to thank me for the gift. She didn't ask why I wasn't at the party, which confirmed what everyone had said. She was too busy to notice. So there it is. If I'd gone to the party, I would have set myself back emotionally for no reason. Instead, my ex-wife told everyone I'd be there, and with me a no-show and OMB present, people likely figured out why. Now I can enjoy my weekend without feeling mentally exhausted and do some fun things. Thank you all again for the support. This is going to be a short but rather humorous update to my previous posts. The outreach was incredible. Thank you all for your advice, and I'm still smiling from the rope-a-dope I pulled last week. I've had a really good week since then. Anyways, here's your Friday humor. Some background. Since D-Day, my in-laws dropped me like a hot potato. I get it. Blood is thicker than water. However, one member of my extended family has reached out regularly, and we hang out often. He's truly a man of character. Well, I got a text on Saturday during the party. Hey man, let's grab some beers this week. Your presence is missed here. Fast forward to the other day. We meet up, start having beers, and get down to business. He first starts talking about the awkward sideshow the party was, with people clearly looking at their feet due to the situation. Apparently, OMB was not introduced to anyone. My ex-wife kept her distance from him during the party, mostly directing him on what to do. The in-laws didn't talk to him and sat by themselves, looking pretty annoyed. He was like a fish out of water, spending most of the time inside, avoiding everyone. There were also quiet comments among some of the in-laws, aunts, and uncles that the party was classless. I swear, I'm moving towards indifference, but I laughed my butt off. My absence was well understood, and my earlier gift giving to my daughter was also known. It seems the family fully understood why I wasn't there. Mission accomplished. For those new to your own difficult situations, I cannot stress enough the importance of taking the high road, acting with dignity and class, and just moving towards living your best life. It's not always the most immediately satisfying course of action, but like weight training, the results take time and are worth it.